The name is Brandon Groce. And we are the Game Changers. Designers, creatives alike. We are in a world that runs on value. Our next designs will be the shiniest. Our next animation will be the most buttery. Ladies and gentlemen, Game Changers, let the games begin.
What is going on, Editor X Live? Welcome back to another challenge for today. I'm your host, Brandon Groce, and I'm super excited to have you guys with me for another day, and specifically to be working on another form of hover interactions. We're going to be working on a really cool 3D animated button, and I want to say hi to some of you guys in our live chat. We have Victor, we have Dema, and what is going on, Editor X Brazil. For the rest of you guys who are watching this and or the replay, do not forget to like this video and subscribe, because we have many things for you guys on this channel for really just learning all things Editor X. So with that said, let's get through some of our house cleaning items. For those of you who are brand new to Editor X, how to get started, things of that nature, and join the challenges. So with that said, let's dive into my screen. With that said, if you guys are new to Editor X and you haven't already signed up, you do want to go to editorx.com and go to Start Now and sign up for your free account today so you can start making some really cool responsive websites and interactive websites for free. And of course, join us along in creating some really cool things for our challenges here that you can submit in our Discord for some amazing prizes. So with that said, that's pretty much about that. Now let's go talk about our Discord, what it is, why you want to join it. Guys, this is the place, and again, this you can find in the link in the description. You guys can join this for three main things. One, you can ask as many questions as you want and about Editor X, technically, things of that nature. We even get questions about career advice in here, and I try to make sure to get back to you with a video recording within 20 minutes time. So if you guys, asking questions everywhere else, if you are a visual learner, drop your questions here. We literally get tons of questions, and they immediately get created into threads, and I make sure to get back to you with a video response and even a little bit of a video tutorial if that's what you need. You also can chat with many creatives like yourselves, have some fun. Yesterday we were talking about a little bit of some of the 3D avatar I have in the works, but you can, just chat up with some cool, amazing, creative people like yourselves and see what we're up to and really just learn from each other. And on top of that, what you guys are here for are the challenges to really learn a little bit about Editor X, submit your challenges, and basically win some really cool prizes. This week, or rather this month, it is a swag pack from Editor X. You will win things like hoodies and a lot of other Editor X swag, and more discussion is happening in what is going to be our prizes for the future. But with that being said, that is our housing items for this beginning of our challenge. With that said, I do want to say hello to the rest of those in our live chat. What's going on, Manuel, Marcelo, and Kimberly? Good to see you guys here. And for the rest of everybody else, hello. Glad to have you guys here, and if you haven't already, it helps tremendously to like the video and subscribe if you haven't. All right, let's talk about today's challenge and really just take a look. All right, so we are working on this play button here. I was looking for something. I love gradients, guys, and I was like, what is something, that seems complicated, but that can be really broken down simply. And that's what we're doing here today. What's going on, Rodrigo? All right, so with that said, let's go ahead and begin this. And by the way, if you guys at any point in time who are watching this live have any questions, we're really trying to change the routine here of how we're doing these videos. Like I said, we're trying to move all of our questions into our Discord in our Ask a Question section. And we are trying to leave all the questions to the last 5 minutes of our live stream so we can get through the curriculum. So thank you for your patience on that, even though I want to talk to you and say hello like literally the entire time. All right, so let's begin this breakdown. So this is a very simple project. There's literally one section. Within that section, we have a blue background, we have a single container, and within that, we have just a whole bunch of assets. Now, before we begin, I do also want to say we are helping you guys out with these challenges. All of the challenge assets you can find down in the description so that you guys can create these and and it will show you guys how to publish the projects and send them in the Discord at the end of this episode. So with that said, let's follow along and begin. All right. So first things first, I am going to create a new page, which I already have deliciously. And we are, I'm going to refresh the page because it looks really tiny. The supply chain got to the screen size. All right. Let's wait and let it reload and do its thing. All right, perfect. Gonna go to pages, EditorX tutorial, and there we go. We have a full size page for us. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove or don't display both the header and the footer. And I'm just gonna drag this to the size that I want just manually. And as you guys can see, I can see the height by that little indicator in pixels down below. So we'll do 750 to begin. We'll probably eventually just do 100 vertical height because you guys know that's like my go-to just out of habit. So we'll just do that. We'll go to our inspector. We'll set this to 100 vertical height, excuse me, which basically just EditorX finds the height of the display that I'm working on and it sets to 100% of that. We're going to take away the minimum height and we are going to start with our background color. I have no idea what it is, so let's double check. This is why we always recreate the project before we go live, guys. All right, so the background color is, the hex is E4F2FF. So I'm just gonna copy, actually it's already in my palettes. What am I doing? I think I just did that so I could give you guys the number. So we have E4F2FF. We're gonna set that as our background for our section. And now we are going to just very simply add an element. I'm gonna add a container. And I am going to center this puppy in our section. And what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna take the background design, or the background color from our container. And now what I'm gonna do is basically I'm just gonna go to my assets. So I'm gonna go to add elements. We are gonna go to my media. And this is essentially where you will upload all the assets that I have laid out for you guys in the description down below. Just upload them. And what we're going to grab first is we are going to grab our, let's see if it is here. It should be this one. Yep. We're going to grab our little cylindrical, I think that's a cylindrical, a rounded button sort of color here. And do not judge me about the names of these assets, guys. Feel free to rename them. All right. So we have our nice little button here. And I did try to do this a couple of ways, guys. I did try to create a container that had rounded edges and tried to put a gradient within, or even using a container with rounded edges and tried to put in a square or a rectangular-esque asset to see if it would crop the rectangular asset, but that was not flying. So what I did instead was, and let me just make sure that this image is inside of our container indeed. Perfect. And what I'm gonna do is I could do a couple things. I could set this image, I could make my container to be exactly the same size as the image, but I don't think we have to be that, what's we call it? We don't have to be that nitpicky just yet. Pill button, yes, Victor says pill button is fine, yes. All right, thank you, Vic. So what we're gonna do now, and this honestly guys, this is super simple. All I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna click inside of my container. I'm gonna go to quick add after clicking those three dots right here. Quick add, I'm gonna add an image, and I'm just gonna duplicate this like 3-4 times. And I'm just gonna place these in the areas that I want our little abstract things to be. And I'll do this one more time. I think we have 5 pieces. I might be wrong. You guys know my math is jacked up. But that argument and all that is for another time. So I'm gonna select my basically placeholder images here, and I'm gonna go to change image, and this is where we're gonna get our donut, our cone, our sphere, and our prism. All right, I did overcount. All right, so we're gonna grab this cone first. We are going to reset image, just so I get the entire cone in here. And of course, guys, if you want to use your own assets for this challenge, feel free. This is purely for those who kind of need some rope, some guidance in understanding the fundamentals and the features in Editor X, and just giving them a helping hand with the assets. But if you guys are like, yo, we good out here with those specific words and the flex, you guys can use any assets to basically create the challenge that you want and submit that, as long as it is around basically using hover interactions, okay? In an interesting way, don't forget that. All right, so we have our cone. We're gonna go to grab our other things. We're gonna get our prism. Did that change here? All right, we did, boom. Go to our cog, reset image. And I'm just gonna do that for our other images here. Change image, donut, update, cog wheel, reset image. And we'll move and resize all these things in just a moment. Change image, sphere, reset image. And maybe we'll add like one more cone. We'll see what happens. We'll intricate this just a little bit, just because I feel like it, guys. I had a brain fart. Okay, cone. And we'll just flip this for now. We'll reset the image, scale this down because we do not want to be looking those pixels in the eye. And let me see. We're gonna adjust. The rotation. Maybe we'll do like 45, 90, something like that. Let me do 95. You gotta test this stuff out, guys. You know what I mean? You gotta feel it out. All right. Now I'm just gonna place these where I want. I feel like I had a pretty good, arrangement of things here. So we had our sphere. Sphere is under play. Sphere, donut, and then the prism. All right, let's try to get that sphere over here. Grab our donut. And we'll have our prism over here. All right, now let's just scale these things. Try to get a nice little... The word is not coming to me, guys. What is the word I'm looking for? It has to do with the golden ratio and composition. There we go. Let's try to find a nice little composition. It's been a while since I've been to art class, guys. And we're only one cup of coffee in. So, alright. I think maybe we'll duplicate this item one more time. And just make it smaller. Just fill in the white space over here. And we'll rotate it in a negative position. We'll just do negative 45. Alright, I feel that it's aggressive. It's pointing directly to my left-hand corner here. It's aggressive rotation. Let's see, negative 25 degrees. We'll rock with that. Alright, so we have pretty much what we are looking for here in terms of a composition. We could do better, but I just want to get everything in here and start playing with it. All right, so next what we are going to do is we are going to go to my container, quick add a title, and we're gonna just type in play and find what text or font we actually use. So Montserrat Bold, I feel like the past month we have just been constantly using Montserrat, so we're gonna stick with that, I guess. Montserrat Bold. And what is the scale that we are using here? 176. Let's play with that. And let's actually select the Boom, 176. Boom, we have our play. And let's make sure that this is centered within our button here. There is a little bit of space here that I don't like, so what I'm gonna do is just center this play, just like that, rather than left align it. Victor in our live chat says, this is awesome, I never saw button design in this way. Much love. Rodrigo says, I love it. Marcelo says, hover interactions in EditorX are so powerful. I indeed do agree. And in my agreeance, I had already forgot my next step. Okay, we're gonna make the play text white, and we might scale it a little bit down. We'll rock 165, 145. All right, play with that. Okay. Now what I want to do is go to my layers panel and let's just see where all this stuff lines up. I'm gonna bring this ball a little bit under play. We're gonna bring the prism over top the play button here. All right, so we have a little bit of, you know what? I'll move this over a little bit like this. It looks a little messy. I might take out this cone over here. Or at least don't display it for now until I make up my mind. All right, so we have a little bit of this all happening. And what I want to do is the next step is animating things. Like you guys saw, it's creating the initial state. It's this blue. And what this blue is, let's go to my layers here. It's essentially the background. It's essentially the container with this background color and has our 200 radius for pixels. So I'm going to go to my container. I am going to, and let me see if I actually did a specific width for this. I feel like I did. Yes. 719 pixels by 366. And I'm pretty sure that is the same exact sizing of our gradient button, because otherwise it would look really weird. So 1719 by 366 in height. And we are going to fill this in with our darker blue color. We're going to give this our radius of 200 pixels. And now we are going to do a couple of adjustments here. I'm going to set our width of our rainbow button. Right now the width is 97.6%. I'm going to set this to 100. So it fills out that blue button that we have in the background. Victor says, unfortunately in EditorX we can't apply some shadow to give a sense of depth and distance. This would be interesting. Actually, Victor, you can apply some, man, I wish we had a longer, we might do this in our office hours, because I actually took inspiration from this on Dribble, and there's a lot that you can do. You can do shadows. You actually can add, for example, other PNGs to mimic a shadow and basically animate those on hover to simulate shadows. So think of it almost like Photoshop. You can create any effects that you want in terms of layers and make those effects show up based on hover interaction. So man, you can do some really cool stuff, but let's just get through this so you guys can see kind of what I'm going with that. So now that we have everything set up, we have our blue button in the background, we have all of our things set up just enough to where we can start animating now. Let us begin that process. So I'm going to select my container. I'm going to go to beta interactions over here, and I'm going to select add trigger. We're going to have our trigger be hover, and we want affected element to be the container. So let's see. Action type, apply an effect. We are going to create a custom effect right down here. And we're going to call this Cool 3D Hover Effect. And now we can start designing what that effect is. So now what we can do is, what you guys can see here is we have two menus that just popped up. We are designing this effect that has a particular timing, and we can also play what it is that we are designing, so we can check out the initial state and what we're trying to create versus the initial state versus where we want to take that state. And we can also click done when we're done. Now, let's see here. I might be doing things in reverse, but I'm going to start pulling the items into, basically, I'm designing the initial state of the button. So I want these, oops. I'm going to undo that. I'm going to delete this. And I should be able to do that by, I literally should just be able to click on these and delete them. But, let me see here. I had a little bit of an issue with this last time, but let's see. Let me close this. Let me hit done for a second. Let me go to, this is, okay. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to edit the initial state, I think. Let me see. Initial state. I want to delete these very quickly. Let me just do this. I think this is going to be a simpler way. I'm going to delete this. All right. Add an effect. Custom. I'm going to call this initial 2. And I'm going to hit done. Because what I want to do is I want this to be the state that we go to. Or let me see, initial 2 and then end state. Okay. And this will make sense in just a second, guys. All right, so I'm going to start with initial. I'm going to start designing this. First thing is I'm basically just making additional states just in case if I mess up something. That's basically what that is. So first off, I'm going to take this image here. I'm going to go to my opacity. I'm going to set this to 0. I'm going to start taking these images. I'm going to start pulling them a little bit to the center, because the initial state, we want things to start in the center, and then when we hover, expand out. So I'm pulling them all in here. And another thing we can do is we can pull them in and scale them as well. So I'm going to bring down the scale to 50%. That's how I fixed it last time. I think last time the issue I had was I was trying to move a sphere, and like it got out of whack and I couldn't control Z the issue. But what you can do is just go to scale and just go to 100% and 100%, and it will take your asset back to where it was. I think that's the issue that I had, and I didn't know how to go back because I couldn't control Z. So I'm going to scale this down. We're going to just do 48%. I'm going to set this to do 80%. And all these will be set to 0 opacity. So we'll go 0, 0. And this timing essentially is recording all of the different changes that we're making. 0%. All right, let's grab this one, 0%. And I can constantly add different things, like if I wanted things to rotate and go out. All right, let me see. So this will be our initial state. I think we're good here. We'll hit done. And let me just play this. I want to see this. So right now we have the reverse. You guys see this? So basically we have yet to have the, we want to start here and play it so it goes out. So let's just hit done for now. And let's see. We're going to go to hover, add interaction, and we want to do Actually, you know what? I wonder if. Let's see this. All right, so right now, like I said, we have an inverse. So what we have here for the hover interaction is the inverse. But I'm trying to think. The last time I did this, when the interactions were a little bit different, they just changed it this week. You guys totally saw that in a previous challenge. But let's see. I think there is a way to set the initial state. But maybe what we will do, let's just click done here. Maybe we'll literally just design how we want it, because we don't have the time to figure out the changes that happened. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna set everything to how we want it in the beginning. So we're gonna set the opacity for our image background here to 0. I'm gonna set all these puppies to 0 for now and move them where we want. Just like we did. I'm gonna do a little bit faster this time for time's sake. Image opacity to 0, 0, 0. And I'm gonna grab these last 2 cones from within my layers. Oh wait, Kimberly says, wait, Brandon, at the top you can choose initial state and then all right, thank you. You guys are the saviors. All right, let's undo all that. All right, so let's try what you guys are talking about. So container, we're gonna go back to our beta, and where's that add an effect? There was a drop down you guys were talking about. Hover. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, I don't know, guys. All right, maybe this is it. Click interaction. All right, we're there. I guess the chat is running this one, guys. We're watching the replay. But we have click the interaction button. We are on the interaction, guys. On triggers, select interaction. All right, we are there. And we have the initial state 2. Is this what you guys are talking about? And the silence is the greatest. Action type. All right. Remove an effect. And also the live stream is literally 30-minute delay or 30-second delay, just to let you guys know. And then all right. And then I'm assuming we want to go to the initial state. That's what I'm assuming you guys are talking about. All right, so let's try. Yeah, Nope, guys, we can't. We're not doing this. We'll do this in the Discord. We need this to be fluid. So I am going to literally do what I was doing before, because we just can't, and we're at the time limit. So, and this will be much easier, at least for me at this moment. All right, we're gonna zero everything out. We already have our hover interactions. Boom, boom, boom. We're gonna go to this image, down, container, beta interactions, deleting this because I have no idea what that is. Apply an effect, yes, effects, end state. And I think we need to go to end state. We'll edit this. Image. This should be 100%. I have no idea why it's not. Oh man, I guess we're gonna have to turn all these on again. Boom. Hey guys, I couldn't do it. I apologize. I know you guys want to help in the chat, but this is the easiest way to do all the things. All right, boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we can get that last cone. Nope, let's not move that. Let's get this cone, and we will bring this. We'll bring it up like 20 pixels. Let's do 60. And let's do 50. Negative 50. All right. We'll click done. Go to preview. There we go. All right, guys, that was way easier. I should have just done that in the beginning. Granted, we don't have the sexiness of the, of the nice composition that we had before, but that is essentially what we were trying to do, and I really do appreciate you guys trying to help out in the chat, but it's just much easier for me to do how I know. There's a million ways of how to do these things, but again, you guys saw how to do it when I did it in reverse, and I think the only reason that I did it that way is because earlier this week, hover interactions were different. They just literally just got updated so you can make more complex, awesome animations. But there you have it, guys. And honestly, if you wanted to do you can complicate this even more. You can add different and more PNGs. You can add shadows. You can add, different translations. And as you guys can see, there's a lot of different settings you guys can play with within the effects. So let me just check to see we have, this is going to end state. So let's go to our effects, end state. Let's go to edit very quickly. You guys can see how many different settings, from opacity, rotation, scale, skewing, translating of X and Y, borders, corners, shadows. There's a lot of things you guys can play with. And on top of that, you guys can even, change the easing of your animation, and also the start and end time of this. So ladies and gentlemen, when you are done with this, all you need to do is publish this work of art by clicking this right blue button right up here. Make sure you check out your site, make sure it's nice and working. Well, wait, hold on, this is the wrong we did the wrong one, guys. We've got to make sure that this page is the home. So I'm going to click done here. I'm going to go to pages, make sure that this is our home. Settings. I should be able to set this to home. Set as home page, publish again. Now I can go to the site, and there we have it, guys. So with that said, that is the tutorial for today. Do make sure to copy your website and publish it into our challenge section of our Discord, and make sure to submit your work in the format that we have. So it's your name, the challenge number, which is the hover interactions, and make sure to have the URL for your site right here. And with that said, let's actually take a look at the submissions from yesterday. We had 3, so let's take a peek at those. First off, we had Victor. Love that. Oh, dang, this is... Wait, hold up. This is awesome. So this was yesterday's challenge. Very nicely done. I love that intro animation. That was sick. Let's replay that. Very nicely done. That deserves like a lot of claps right there, guys. Up next we have, let me see, which one is... We have Dimma. Let me go ahead. And yesterday's challenge was animation relating to basically just any type of animation, but we were doing somewhat of a loading animation. So it was very nice, and Dimma went another step and tried to add some... This was actually really challenging what you tried to do, Dimma. I had some issues myself trying to get the animation that I wanted, but also having individual photos, which is why I ended up starting to use just the long slivers of images. But I love the fact that you went a next step, tried to experiment a little bit, and added some hover interactions as well, skill stacking from what we've been learning. And then we have Kimberly coming in very quickly with the first, what is it? Basically the first showing, or the first set of projects that came through. And let me refresh that. I don't think, there we go. For some reason this little animation was not performing for us. It came in a little bit, but beautiful job. This came in first, Kimberly. I definitely would say take a look at your timings here for this, but for the first submission and like getting even more comfortable in Editor X, like that's beautiful. And for you to, I think you submitted this like 10 minutes after the challenge, which is awesome. So nice work. So ladies and gentlemen, like I said, keep hustling with the challenges. I'm so excited to see you guys grow and grow each and every day with all of the work that you guys have been doing. And it's really, after each challenge, the amount of skills that you guys are compounding into your next submissions have been absolutely awesome. So guys, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and join our Discord for more information on our next challenges, and really to submit your work and meet amazing people. So with that said, I will see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place, and check the link in the description for any more information about us, the challenges in Editor X. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thanks Spring Chicken, Lorraine, and Dimma, Rodrigo, Gabriel, and everybody else in the live chat. And I will see you guys in the Discord for any questions you have. Take it easy. Bye.